Elevate your brand with Elevate TV, a premier media station in the country. We specialize in video production, live coverage, advertising and social media marketing. We do quality production for YouTube videos, podcasts and live events. Transform your vision into reality with creativity and precision. Call us today and elevate your story on 0705 872 237.
Elevate TV, advancing kingdom lifestyle.
Yes, welcome to Man Unveiled, a show that comes to you every Wednesday, 8 to 9 p.m. I'm your host, Joe Wisdom, and officially want to appreciate all of you for being there and making this show your show and your family show. I know you're watching us on Facebook, on YouTube, you're live, and I want to encourage you to share this link to other people. Let every man know that something great is happening right here on Elevate. We say that on Man Unveiled, we are here to build men. We are here to motivate and inspire men. Transformation must be a reality in the life of every man. We say we don't fight men here. We build men. It takes a man to get the best out of another man. Tonight is a wonderful show lined up for you. I'm hosting a lady and a gentleman, people that I know will add value to your life if you are careful to follow through and just listen in. We are looking at narcissistic disorders in men. And we are asking, are all men narcissists? Because when you listen to people out there, any person have found maybe fighting some challenges in marriage, and especially our sisters, they are saying that my husband is a narcissist. Is this word being abused? You can write to us. We need to know what are your views about narcissism. Have you experienced, have you had a narcissistic manager, a narcissistic husband or father? And what was your experience with those narcissistic people? I want to give an opportunity to Madam Monica. Karibu sana Elevate.
Asante.
And Madam Monica is an educationist, is a psychologist. She is a teacher. You know, Madam Monica is so many things, but I want to give her an opportunity to just introduce herself and also give a shout out to some of the people who are watching. You're all the way from Thika.
Asante.
Yes.
So thank you. It's a good evening and I'm happy to be here at Elevate. My name is, I'm commonly referred to by many as Teacher Monica. I'm the current principal at Leonard Schools, Thika. I'm an educationist. I'm also a counselor by training. I have passion in mentorship for teens and children, and I become very fulfilled when I see families that are working, and I'm happy to be here.
Wow.
My shout out possibly is to my son Caleb. He had told me he will be watching together with my son David. I know they are glued on the screen wanting to see their mother on TV.
Oh yes.
And I tell them, hi sons. It's such a good feeling. Yes.
And I am sure there's also a community around you. Maybe
Yes.
the Lillard community.
Yes, the Leonard School fraternity. I had shared in my status, and parents were telling me, we will watch teacher.
Wow.
So I'm very sure my parents are watching. From Leonard School, the Goigwa campus and the Athena campus. I'm here. Leonard is a place where we teach children how to think.
Wow.
We teach thinkers at Leonard School Thika.
Wow.
And I'm happy to be here. So my parents keep glued there so that we look at what narcissism entails and how we can tell people who have narcissistic disorder and possibly how they can seek support.
Yes.
Yes.
And say hi to Mojos.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes.
Hi to Elder Mojos and Monica. Elder Mojos is the district elder.
Yes.
And her spouse, Monica Mojos, is my good friend.
Wow.
And the entire Thika Township Church.
Yes.
PC Thika Township
Wow.
Church. And particularly my Sunday school teachers. Hi.
Wow,
We are
great.
impacting children in a positive way.
I admire your passion and when it comes to children.
Asante.
And in fact, I want to promise our dear viewers that very soon we'll be inviting you for Teacher Monica's book launch.
Yeah, very soon.
Yes.
Indeed, very soon.
Very soon. I'm making it as a promise here because I want people to hold me accountable.
True.
Sir Gabriel,
Thank you.
welcome
sir.
to the show.
Thank you for having me, first of all. I think Teacher Monica is exciting. The show is going to be wonderful.
Yeah.
So I'm Coach Gabriel from Bold Possibilities. We focus on personal development, building lasting relationships, and also self-publishing. I think I have been here before.
Yeah.
And thank you for having me once again. Shout out to my wife, my baby there. And I have a fraternity of men, Better Men Cave. We call it Better Men Cave.
Wow.
I say salute to all of you. Tune in. Let's build as men.
Wow, great. And I also shout out to my family, Linus Joe, Victor, Sophie, and Sonia. These are the people who have given me the boldness to be where I am today. Because they say that the success of a man is measured by the family he has raised. So sometimes people cow down because what they speak is not what they practice.
True.
But I want to appreciate the opportunity to be a father and to be a husband. One of the things we are looking at today and tonight, and I know my wife is watching, I also want to know whether I'm narcissistic. Because sometimes that word narcissism is discussed and you feel like one.
True.
And again, you know, when it's expounded, you also feel like, I think I'm not that extreme.
Yes.
And, you know, Madam Monica, tell us, what does it, who is a narcissist? What is narcissistic disorder? Maybe from a psychological perspective, yeah.
Narcissism is a personality disorder.
Yes.
There are quite a number of personality disorder, ranging from people who are highly withdrawn. There are quite many, including bipolar. But narcissism lies at clinical psychology. And narcissism revolves around people who are highly self-centered, people who lack empathy, people who seek a lot of validation, and people who have fixation in the way they treat people. So, and it comes out strongly. Narcissism is well seen when it comes to relationship, because that's where the other party feels they cannot handle the extremes of narcissism. So we can just classify it, it's a personality disorder. And I think to an extent everybody has an element of narcissism, but the extreme is what now can make somebody be classified as a narcissistic. It's a tough word for someone who comes from Nyeri.
Yes, we are understanding. we have already excused you.
Yes, it's a tough word.
Yes.
But when we say it's a disorder, it means it requires to be managed.
Yes.
Because when you have a disorder, what happens to a disorder is you manage it. So there's an element of getting to understand that I have this disorder, how do I manage it? But it comes out strongly when it comes to relationship.
Wow.
Yes.
Gabriel,
Yes.
as a man, do you think that like our topic tonight, do you think that all men are narcissists?
No. Not all men are not all men are narcissists.
Or let me put it more clearly. Do all men have a percentage of narcissism?
Yes, that is more correct.
Okay.
Everyone, men and women included, we have an aspect of narcissism. all of us. If you study narcissism, you'll find out it's a continuum. It is in a continuum. So one day you might show a trait of narcissism because maybe you are pushed to the wall, or maybe the circumstance doesn't favor you. And as a way to defend yourself, a trait of narcissism might come out. But when we are talking about a narcissist, it's someone who has gone to the extreme and operates from the extreme. All right? So that is when someone now is categorized to have a disorder. So all of us do have some narcissistic traits here and there, time after time, but it's not all. So generally, according to the research, and those countries where research has been done, like the US and the UK, they say it's about 0.75 of the total population. So it's not quite a huge population that has that disorder. They say roughly about 1 person in 200 might have a narcissistic disorder that has been diagnosed. So it's not as extreme as people say it is.
Yeah.
And especially our ladies,
Yes.
I think they push the bar too far.
Yeah.
Although there are men who are narcissistic and there are women who are narcissistic, proven. But I feel like it's a name that it has come into the scene recently. And everyone who feels like their spouse has not been fair to them, they have a feeling like just because they were not fair to me, they qualify to be called a narcissist.
Wow.
A lot of women, so to say, even men who had their relationships gone wrong, most of the time they usually refer to their ex or whoever as
It has
a
been an
narcissist.
escape. It's just a way to escape.
Yeah, it's a way to escape
Yes.
responsibility. And once you brand the other person a narcissist, then you exempt yourself and call yourself righteous. But this is the reality. A lot of time, the person who is a narcissist is usually the first one to call the victim a narcissist.
So it's you report first before you are reported.
Yes, they usually are the ones because they always like to be on top of the game.
Okay.
So one of the habits of a narcissist is they want to control and to manipulate. So the easiest path is to brand you a name, then play the victim.
Okay.
Yes. So there are two types of narcissists. Maybe our madam will explain more. But there is what we call a classic narcissist, and we have an overt narcissist. Now, a classic narcissist is the one who feels himself the one who feels like a god among you.
Yes.
You know, he feels
That sense of exaggerated self-importance.
It's called grandiosity.
Yeah,
Grandiosity,
grandiosity,
yes.
yes. So this is the person who feels like all of you should bow down for me.
Yes.
You should praise me. I'm the most important person here. All of you don't matter. What matters is what I say, things like that. But the overt narcissist is the type who plays the victim. Now they will change and always play the card that they are the one oppressed, even when they are the ones oppressing.
And at least we have seen it.
And this one is more common with women. The overt narcissism is more common with women, and the classic narcissism is more common with men. So it is very easy to see the classic narcissists because of their behavior. It is overly presented. Sometimes you pity the overt narcissists because they always play the victim. So a lot of time you will miss to see that one and see this one.
Wow. Madam Monica.
True.
Maybe you can share with us some things that you'll maybe demonstrate that you are dealing with a narcissist.
There are quite a number, but most importantly is a person who does not put yourself into your shoes. The basically lack of empathy. Someone, whatever decision they take, they center around them. High level of self-centeredness is narcissism because you don't put yourself into the feelings of that other person. As far as it favors you, as far as it gratifies your desire, you are okay to do with it. That means even if I want to get to the top, it doesn't matter whether I'll step on people, provided I get there. That's narcissism. Because you need to consider how will these people feel as I step on them. So lack of empathy, any person who does not view life from other people's point of view that is the highest level of narcissism. That also, the element of grandiosity, even for women, feeling like I'm the one who does everything in this house. I need to be celebrated. I have born children for you. By the way, before you became this famous, I'm the one who have made you. It's grandiosity. The feeling of superiority is also an element of narcissism. Also manipulative, being manipulative, very manipulative, that as far as it favors you, it's narcissism. You make people, you can almost make people a doormat. Any form of manipulation is narcissism. Something else that comes out very strongly in narcissists is seeking validation. They are people pleaser. A husband who is a narcissist will present a very good man out there. But when he gets to his house, children are almost hiding from their father. So they seek validation from people, and they present a very good person. To a greater extent, you may sympathize with them.
Yes.
Ideally, in a marriage setup, you find a man who is so good at the place of work. If you hear the kind of things the wife say they do, you can almost speak on their behalf, because narcissists have an element of seeking validation, particularly to a certain class of people. When it comes to giving feedback to a narcissist, they don't take critique lightly because of that element of playing victim. So they will revolve things.
They will spin and
they will spin until it gets to you. You are the one who have a problem. So instead of taking blame and taking themselves to a self-evaluation, I think whatever my wife is saying could be correct. They will pray. They don't take critique lightly.
they never see things from any other person's point of view.
Exactly. And whatever they believe is right, according to them, is right. And you should see it right, as far as they see it, right. And they have a lot of fixation, because a narcissist assumes you are petty. Even when you are not demonstrating element of pettiness, because of that fixation, they will assume, it is the this one is like, an
that.
ambulance. She loves complaining. So you will not take something serious, even when it's supposed to be very
serious.
And you see, for women, sometimes they become emotional. So there's a time I'll be bringing in a point that is very serious, but because of my emotional imbalances, I'll not bring it well. But possibly whatever I'm saying has a lot of weight. But a narcissist will get fixation and dab people. But at the same time, it is also important for us to be cautious, because women will dab their men narcissist.
We are coming there.
Okay.
We are coming there, because I also want to know, have we also mistaken maybe the man's confidence and being firm and assertive?
Yes.
Is there a way that possibly that can be mistaken as being a narcissist? Because at some point, a man got to be a man.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, that is one of the most mistaken things. And I think almost all confident men suffer being branded narcissists at one point, either at work, either at home. Just stamping your authority can be seen wrongly, especially if the woman you are dealing with has come from an abusive family where there was either not a strong man or the man misused his authority. It is very easy to be seen from the wrong side when you stamp your authority as a man. And a lot of time, even on regular conversations, confidence is sometimes seen as ego. And every time you are very confident, you star weak spirits. It is an obvious thing. Even confident women always star the room, and even other women will not feel very comfortable with a very confident woman. So I think that has been misused, and it is because people do not have a full understanding of the disorder. I think most of us just take one trait and then use it to go branding every Tom, Dick, and Harry based on one thing that we had psychologist Monica talking about. But generally, when it comes to narcissism, it is told that you shouldn't call anyone a narcissist until probably they are diagnosed with it by a profession, a mental health profession. Otherwise, you can always be wrong. You can always be wrong. There are other personalities who are very strong personalities. People like the cholerics, they are very strong by their nature.
Cholerics, yeah.
Yes, but they are not narcissistic. They are just people who are firm in what they say.
Yeah.
They mean what they say. They follow up for what they say. And sometimes even in places of work, they can be seen to be oppressive, while that is part of their personality. So it is good that we be more measured in branding people and be also keen to see if there are those extremes that Monica has shared. Especially the idea of fixation. I think it is one that really sets out, differentiate a narcissist, and the idea of grandiosity. Feeling you are too important than everyone, and then feeling that everyone is a child, they don't reason, they don't make any important points. Those are quite aspects that can help you differentiate. But the other aspect might be common even in us.
Yes.
They might be common in us, and therefore it's not fair. It's really not fair
And
to call
ideally,
everyone.
you may find a situation, when you find yourself, you want to control how people think and behave, that is strongly narcissistic. Because if I, for instance, I'm married, and then I decide now my husband has to behave this way,
In a certain way, yes.
in a certain manner,
You want
that
him to see
suits,
things the way you see
that
them.
suits my expectation. That's narcissism. So for instance, I say, if you are a husband, you decide, my wife will not be going to work. I give you everything you require. But you have not listened to, there are people who go to work not necessarily to earn a living, but to have a social life. Because that's how they are tailored according to your personality. So putting them in a home, when you find a husband who wants to stamp a certain form of authority so that a person thinks or behaves according to what they think, that's narcissism. Because now that's not normal. Trying to control how a person will have to do their things.
Or even
For example,
how
I'm a
person
talkative
responds,
person.
yes.
And then all of a sudden you decide you'll not be talking.
You are exposing me.
Yeah, you're making me look like I'm weak. That element of over-controlling is narcissism. Because each and everybody, before you marry someone, each and everybody has their life.
Yes.
When you find you want to control how people will live their life, that's narcissism. That element, because there's a way you can be controlling to make your children attain a certain manner of behavior that you feel as a father is best for them.
convenient with you.
Is best for them. But now when you find you are limiting even their use of common sense, now that's narcissism.
You want them to be like you
Yes.
because you have some status in the society.
Exactly.
You don't want them to be children.
And you want them to present themselves in a certain
In a
manner
certain
to
specific
suit
way.
your expectation.
Yes.
That's narcissism. Because each and everybody has their life. And that's why you find, to some extent, children become deviant. They are looking forward for that time. They'll
When
be
they will
given a
exit.
chance. Yes, because they are deviant. Why? Because they have been suppressed. Anytime you find you are suppressing another person's personality from being them, it's narcissism.
And in fact, we are coming to that. We will be looking at a narcissist as a parent, and a narcissist as a husband, and as a father, because we want to look at this aspect so that we can understand. In fact, the good thing about this conversation is that we don't want to project narcissism as what we call as a terminal illness, you know, or like we don't need these people in the society, we cannot live with them, you know, they need to be exterminated. No, these are our brothers. Remember that narcissist that you keep talking about is someone's brother, is a son to someone,
Someone's father.
is someone's father. So we are looking at it objectively, not dismissively, because you can dismiss someone and assume that they are not supposed to be in the society, you know. So we are looking at this so objectively, that how do we live with these people? How do we help them? Because sometimes you find yourself, because I think, and maybe Gabriel, you can talk about it, and Psychologist Monica, you'll also mention something before you go for the break. How do you find yourself as a narcissist? you know, a narcissist born? Or is it environment that makes you a narcissist? Because I believe that there is no woman who went to maternity and brought and gave birth to a narcissist. Because your name is narcissist John so and so. No. What happens?
Yeah, wow. Okay, thank you. Let me add on to what Monica has said before we move to how narcissism is formed. One of the other traits about narcissists is that they make you feel like your feelings are not important. They discredit what you feel. You are crying and they ask, what are you crying about?
Hiyo ni kitu ya
Hiyo ni
kukufanya
kitu ya
ulie.
kufanya ulie. Ati you are angry. What are you angry about here? So they are making you feel like you should not even feel. You should not experience your normal feelings.
They reduce
Yes.
what you are going through.
Because of their lack of empathy.
They don't have any level of empathy. Most of the times, they will reduce any form of feeling that you try to express. Even joy. They will ask, what are you laughing about? What is so funny? What did Monica say that is so funny here?
Kama mjinga mbele ya watu.
Yeah? And those are some of the signs you should look out for. Maybe.
I have started seeing them.
Yes, so they always put, even the children, you will hear that children don't laugh when their father is around, if their father is the narcissist or the mom. The place has no emotion. You live a flat life, flat, until they want you to do something. If he wants you to laugh, then laugh at that time.
Okay. They want to remote control you.
Remote control even your feelings.
Yes.
Yeah. Away from that, how narcissism is formed, according to science, there's some genetical aspect of it.
Yes.
There's some genetical aspect of it that if the family has had a long history of narcissism, there's a high chance that a child can be born with a high tendency to become a narcissist. But now you see that one also contributes to the environment. It can only be connected with the environment under which someone is raised. Because if there is a history of narcissism in the family and you are born in that family, then now that you are being raised by narcissists, the high chances are you will also become the same. There's also trauma or pain. Pain breaks people. It's not that it can, it breaks people. And as a way to survive, you might develop narcissistic traits.
As a coping mechanism.
As a coping mechanism, yeah. So you find if a child was hurt, really hurt when they were young, especially during the teenage days, they develop narcissism traits as a mechanism to cope. The other way that narcissism is brought about is the way a parent parents their child. For example,
Parenting style.
Yeah, parenting style. If you raise a child who you never say no to, they always have their way.
Yes.
Now, once they are mature, they will force their way.
High levels of self-entitlement.
Entitlement, yeah. So you've created an entitled child. That's going to be the outcome of their life.
They would want to take control even to their wives, children, and everybody around.
And even employees. So parenting also greatly contributes when it comes to that.
Wow.
But we can also add something, besides genetic and the parenting styles and possibly trauma, there's something else that is magnified narcissism, especially in the modern man today.
Yes.
The power, we can call it environmental power. You are already accustomed, you have a lot of power, and people bow down to you. You extend that to everybody around you. Also, money can really magnify someone, because money can make you arrogant.
Yes.
Because sometimes narcissism also displays itself very well with high level of arrogance.
Status.
So sometimes the status in the society can slowly, even if you are a good person, make you a narcissist, because you look down. You look down on people. All these could be environmental factors that can magnify someone who was not even narcissistic to become one. Because if I exercise too much authority where I come from, I am a mwene mutapa. You see, you learned about mwene mutapa empire. I'm a mwene mutapa. I can make everybody tapa tapa because of my power. So power, status, money, these environmental factors
Systems.
can cause you to adopt narcissism.
What a discussion, and I know you are learning. I can see some people joining us online. Thank you, Chris Brivery, Anthony Gumo. Both of you are needed here urgently. Anthony Gumo, Apostle Anthony Gumo, Moya, Reina's Chapel, and Chris Brivery. Please, you are needed here urgently. Report to my office after this meeting. Now, Linias Joe, thank you so much. Doris Nyawendo, thank you. God bless you. Karen, thank you. Aki, having an narcissistic colleague, coworker, or leader at work is the worst, I swear. You know, we'll be talking about having, an narcissistic leader.
Yes.
Or worker or colleague in the place of work. Wilberforce Wanyonyi, looking forward to the conversation. Thank you. God bless you. Mary Wairegi, God bless you, my sister, Pastor Mary Wairegi. God bless you for watching. And all those who are watching, I'll be sampling Matthew Omondi. And all those who are watching, continue writing to us. We are breaking for 2 minutes. Then we'll be back with more of this conversation. We want to engage now. How do you deal with a narcissist? And how do you handle a narcissist who, as a father, as a husband? Because we will not tell you to divorce them. We will not tell you to run away from home. But you need to know, you need to have the wisdom on how to handle them so that you can live long. Getting back in 2 minutes.
Well, Sister Talk is back, and there's no better way of starting us off than to gather women and ladies on the 8th of March 2025 at the Kenya Cinema Plaza from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Our theme is Woman, Purpose and Excellence. We will be laughing together, we will be learning and unlearning, and also moments of impartation and prayer. We will have great guests joining us, Pastor Lee Wanja and Joyce Omondi. These are dynamic women who are doing great things, not only in the marketplace, but also in ministry. Our registration fee goes for only 500 shillings. You can send your monies on the till number that is running below your screen. Please note, this event will not be aired live on our TV station or on our social media platforms, so you don't want to miss being there in person. I am Linda Talam, and I look forward to hosting you. See you there.
What's really happening after 40? It's a time of new possibilities, not just menopause and andropause. It's about embracing the journey with chronic health conditions, maintaining a healthy weight, strengthening mental wellness, and honoring our evolving bodies. It's about redefining relationships, improving sleep, and finding balance in financial matters. No more myths, no more silence, just expert insights and inspiring real-life stories. Get ready to thrive through life's exciting transitions with confidence. 40 Plus, your ultimate guide to embracing every stage of life. Stay tuned. Coming soon.
Yes, and welcome back to Man Unveiled. We are right here at the center of the capital, looking at this wonderful topic, are all men narcissistic? And we are trying to demystify narcissism because sometimes this word is abused. Sometimes people are suffering, you know, at the shadow of this condition. you may not be able to talk, to come out and speak it out because you just think things are normal. You have been so suppressed that you get used to it without knowing that you are dying from the inside. We want people to come out and talk openly about this, not because you want to leave that marriage, not because you want to run away from home, but because you want to seek solutions. You are saying that wisdom is the principal thing. If you know something, you'll be able to deal with it and you seek solution, because there's nothing under the sun that has no solution. I'm joined by Gabriel Mungai, Coach Gabriel from Bold Possibilities, and Psychologist, aka Teacher Monica, all the way from Thika, and at least now Nairobi Metropolitan.
Yes.
And they are helping us look at this topic. Maybe we can go to you can go first, Teacher Monica, because we were trying to look at how do you deal with a narcissist as a husband?
There are a number of things, but before possibly we look at how to deal with them, it is important to look at how a husband will behave when he's a narcissist.
Okay, yes.
For example, they are very over-controlling. They don't give you a space to breathe. So, for instance, have you seen this kind of people when there is having a disagreement or there's an issue in their home? This husband tells the wife, see, Mama Jo, wewe unajua nakuangaliaga vizuri. Si unajua hakuna kitu nakosa. That's a narcissist.
No, that sounds familiar. And I'm not mentioning names. Okay.
You know, that's a narcissist because they are trying to, they are over defensive.
Okay.
Instead of accepting, they have a lot of defense mechanism. So they will look for a weaker target to put their pain to. So that element of being over controlling and manipulative is very common to husbands who are narcissistic. But it is important to let the women know that by default, the women are socialized in Africa. We are not in Western countries.
Yes.
An African man is expected to be the head, and the wife is supposed to submit. That is even the biblical one. The biblical man is a head, and the wife is supposed to submit.
Yes.
But unfortunately, the current woman has been highly empowered. Yes. So this man who was raised by a father, he found the father stamping authority to their mom, and the mom would do and comply 100%, expects to extend the same to the current modern woman. It cannot happen. Because this current modern woman is more independent when it comes to resources, is more empowered when understanding their space, and technology has also advanced the same. Because it exposes what happens in the outside world. So we are not operating in a vacuum. So a man who expects to stamp that kind of authority will directly be dubbed as narcissistic by their women, and chances of that marriage working is very minimal. So the women also need to understand that they need to give the man the space to be a man. So there's that element of submission in women, so where they need to comply so that they don't dub a man over controlling when a man is just stamping his authority as a man. For example, where there's no freedom, a narcissistic man will not give their women freedom. Where are you going? You're going with who? It's like a woman is begging, even for social life. That's narcissism, because this woman, however much you provide to them, they want some space. So a man who will imagine, no, I have given you everything. Nimekuwekea ng'ombe, nimekujengea nyumba. You get, nimekujengea nyumba, nini unakosa? Maziwa unauza. You get.
Wewe unaharibu maneno.
No, si haribu, I'm trying to quote,
okay,
and I don't have anyone in mind.
No, I'm getting you.
I'm trying to single out. So you go for shopping. What don't you get? Yes. What else do you want?
You have a monthly allowance.
You have a monthly allowance. You want me to be available in this house. Unikule. Si kila kitu uko nayo. That's narcissism.
Okay.
Because besides giving this woman all these other things, she needs emotional support. And women are emotional. So it will project itself. A narcissist will think giving you material support, you have everything.
Yes.
When you find a man who really wants to know what happens to their women's phone, you want literally, let me have it. Ulikuwa unaongea na nani? Mlikuwa mnaambiana nini? Leo
You want to police you around, yes.
And they are really policing. Ameweka mpaka CCTV. Hapei mwanamke nafasi ya kupumua. That's narcissism.
Mpaka gari yake imewekwa car track.
Very true. All of a sudden a woman is driving.
Naona hiyo gari Kasarani.
Yes, inafanya nini Kasarani? Nini unafanya Kasarani? That's narcissism.
Okay.
Any element of being over controlling is narcissism. If you cannot be approached to be criticized, it's narcissism. Because all of us have weaker points, and there is a way people see us. So men who are narcissistic, that's how they behave. When now you go to a father who cannot listen to their children, you assume, what do they know? What are they telling me? I know what is expected of them. It's narcissism. A true father should listen to their children. Do you know there are so many children knows today that you don't know? There's something your son knows that you don't know. Because these children nowadays are more empowered. It is also good to get to know what worldviews your children are taking. If you cannot listen to your children, that's narcissism. Sometimes the level of punishment, the punishment you give your child is not equivalent to the mistake they have done. It's narcissism. Because you need to be reasonable. When you find that the way you're treating your child is a bit not reasonable, that's narcissism. You find a child, just because a child did not do well in the exam, and the level of beating and the level of torture you expose them to, it is showing an underlying problem in you.
Maybe I need to ask as a teacher,
Yes.
because you have that background that you have dealt with. You have that experience.
Yes.
Can you tell a child who is coming from a narcissistic family?
Very well. You can. Number one, a child will exhibit an unrealistic fear. A child who has too much fear. Something small. You shout at a child,
Wow.
that tells you this fear is not from school. There's something that is also happening at home. These children feign sickness. They feign sickness every day. They are sick. They are forever sick. They are having a headache. Tomorrow they are having a stomach ache.
That mental torture.
There's a lot of mental torture. Number three, there's a lot of retrogressing. A behavior that the child had stopped all of a sudden comes back. Like, inaitwa limb thanking. They start thanking their limb. You find a child maybe had stopped bedwetting. All of a sudden starts bedwetting. A child would not have a problem with stammering.
Yes.
Is struggling even to give words,
express themselves.
to express themselves. Their self-esteem change. But most importantly, the child will withdraw. A child who was already bubbly, very good, withdraws. Does not want to talk, does not want anything. That, if you dig deeper, there could be an element of narcissism. We also have teachers who are narcissistic.
Okay.
If you find you don't give children an opportunity to make mistakes, they are not perfect. By default, when you get out of the
You
class,
must allow them to be children.
you must allow children to be children. They will make noise.
You know they are children, and parents, listen to me. This issue of telling children to ati wacha utoto na ni mtoto sasa.
Ataasha aje.
Unataka mtoto waache utoto akue nini?
For example, a teacher in PP1, PP2 expects a perfect class where children go quiet. Let me tell you, any opportunity you give them is an opportunity to talk. Ideally, according to psychology, a child can only concentrate number of minutes in regard to their age.
Yes.
A 6-year-old can only concentrate continuously for 6 minutes. What do you want them to do with 30 minutes you talking? They will make noise. They will become uncomfortable. They want to go to toilet. If you find a person who wants a child to be perfect, you don't give them a room to make mistake. It's narcissism. One is perfect.
Idealization.
Yes. So that's very instrumental. But a parent who is narcissistic to a child is unrealistic. The anything they attribute, however they treat the child, is in unrealistic. You are in your own.
So idea.
You are in an ideal world that doesn't exist.
Fantasies.
And yes, ideally, they say in psychology, it's proven that narcissists, they live in fantasy.
In fantasy, yes.
Yes. They fantasize. Even for a wife, they have that wife they would want to have. So the actual one
If
It's
they
not
don't
the
live up
same.
to that expectation,
It's a
they
problem.
are the problem.
You have an issue with dressing. Mtu anaweza enda na wewe wapi?
Talking.
My wife is a bit illiterate. I don't like going with
Unaongeaga
her
aje
because
wewe?
hawezi ongea, you know. Ataniaibisha. Because the wife he has in mind
Does not exist.
It doesn't exist. Please, these are some of the issues.
Thank you so much, Faith Joroge. Thanks for tuning. Faith Joroge is saying, this is awesome, learning in every bit. And Faith Joroge, there's something I tell this man called Gabriel, that if Gabriel did not find you, he would be faithless.
Yes.
Faith Joroge is espoused to Gabriel.
That is very nice.
So without faith, Gabriel will be faithless.
For sure.
So thank you, Miriam Joroge, informative conversation. Thank you, Tabitha Gathoni Nganga. Thank you, Coach Tabe. We are learning a lot. Continue writing to us. If you have a question, possibly that borders our discussion tonight, feel free to write to us and engage us. Coach Gabriel.
Yes, sir.
We are looking at a narcissist as a colleague.
Yes.
I know you've been in the managerial position.
In the corporate world.
In the corporate world.
Yes.
Have you ever come across a narcissistic person or a senior or a colleague? And
Yes.
how do you go about it?
I've actually interacted with a junior, with a colleague, and with a senior.
Wow.
And when it comes to a junior, they will do everything they can to destroy your name in the company, to show everyone that you don't deserve to be
They
there.
want to paint you black.
They will paint you black, and they will suppress you by maybe holding back their results, so that when you go to the main meeting, you have half the results
To expose you.
They will refuse to do their reporting, to do their duties,
So that you can fail.
so that you can fail. They'll go behind your back and attack you from the bosses. They are intense.
So those are not
very
just bad manners, they are narcissistic
No, they are
behaviors.
narcissistic behaviors, yeah. They are all out to destroy you. And if you are not keen, most people, especially if now you have someone like a boss who is narcissistic, I've had many people who also get mental challenges because they are continuously getting abused. And bosses will abuse you. They will take advantage of you when necessary. They will use you to get what they want always. Always they don't have any problem of using anyone in the company to get their way. They don't care about what you say. Your opinion doesn't count at all. Even after you call a meeting and you share everything, they will just tear down the paper and continue executing what they have. So they are quite extreme in their workplaces. And one of the ways I found that works is just to isolate them or put them in an environment where they don't affect the daily functioning of every other employees, because they can cause a problem in the company. But this is the other good thing with narcissists. Now, narcissists, because of their need to be grand, they work hard. And sometimes they can be the only employee that is being promoted continuously, winning all the accolades.
That's a positive.
Because they want the praise that comes from the work.
The motivation is not...
It's not necessarily the work itself, it's the praise. They want to be the one adored, the baby of the company, the best person. So they have a habit of working hard and also using other methods to get where they want to go. So we find that many companies, as at today, they are being led by CEOs who have narcissistic habits, because they will do what it takes to get there. They will do what it takes. So it's good to know them and also to realize, because sometimes they are very productive. They might be very productive because they need to be acknowledged and recognized. But it's also good to know that in their efforts to go to the top,
step on you.
They could be stopping on 20 people. So you, as a manager, as a board of directors, if you realize you have this in the company, you need to also watch out on the other employees.
How do you deal with such a person in an organization? I'm a junior. My senior is a narcissist. How do I handle it? How do I deal with it?
First of all,
because I will not resign. I need
the number one bullet to deal with any narcissists, please get psychological help. Because basically to understand them is hard. It's first of all hard. Because what they were doing yesterday, they guilt-tripped you. Today they are doing something we call love bombing. So yesterday they fixed you, you looked like the worst person in the company. But today they are lavishing you with everything because there's something they want to get from you. So you keep wondering, how is it that Joe was the one who did this good thing to me, but today is the one attacking me? So you can get confused if you are not guided well.
And sometimes you can feel valueless in terms.
Yes, and they will push you to that level. And sometimes they'll do something we call triangulation. They will collect your other colleagues and then turn them against you. So you are left in a space where you are wondering, well, what did I do wrong? Everyone hates me in the company. But it is him who is doing the smear campaign against you all over. So first of all, find a psychologist, find a therapist, get help yourself, and then be advised properly what kind of a narcissist you are dealing with, and be given tips on how to handle them. The next point I can share is stay away from them as much as you can in the place of work. If there's a way you can avoid to be with them or to be under them, well and good. If you can change the department, well and good. If you cannot change, reduce the interactions. If you just need to present a report to him on Monday, just take the report.
Don't try to please them because you will never please them.
Don't even try. Don't even try to do.
You
Just
know,
do what is necessary.
You know, what you're saying makes a lot of sense. When I was in Form 1, I had a prefect, we call them captains, who was narcissistic. I didn't know. You know this guy, unaona ile anakuonea. You know, I tried buying bread for this guy every day. Every time I meet him, he's insulting me. And you know now, this was even worse because I had come from the village. My Sheng language was a
terrible.
Bit, you know, it was suffering some few things.
Yes.
I could not express myself freely.
Yes.
And this tells you that I was trying to please this guy, but this guy could not be pleased until mpaka nikachoka. My pocket money is gone. I buy this guy bread every day, and I make sure he sees me giving him the bread, trying to make peace. So as much as you are trying to make peace to a narcissist, you will never achieve. Now,
True.
Psychologist Monica.
And maybe before you go to
please.
Monica, maybe I can bring something that narcissism is not only on ground, it's also spiritual. And I can allude this to the story of Laban and Jacob. That is the most classic example of a narcissist I have seen in the
Laban
Bible.
was a narcissist.
Laban was the narcissist himself. Please go and read that whole chapter.
Pastors, that's a Sunday sermon.
That guy kept on changing Jacob's salary.
Yes.
You agreed
changed my wages 10 times.
10 times. So you can imagine a boss like that. Yesterday you agreed 50,000, then all of a sudden you are paid that. What went wrong? And then tomorrow he gives you 60, then
and when you want to leave, he tells you, let's talk about
you
this
cannot
thing.
leave. Suddenly he is interested.
And when he decides to completely leave, he is scandalized.
He is scandalized. You see, that kind of behavior now is what we call a narcissism. He gives you his daughter, then he exchanges. After working for so long, he gives you another deal. Then you tell him, okay, let us agree that this is how you pay me. When he starts seeing like you are growing, he changes the deal another time. So you cannot trust a narcissist. Whatever you do, he will change at one point. So I want people to be keen that these things are even in the Bible, and there are people like this. It's not that we are talking from the
And
skies.
by the way, the examples in the Bible are also many.
Yes.
Because even Jezebel was a narcissist.
Was another
Because how
narcissist,
on
a
earth
woman narcissist.
they owned all the property they would have gotten in the land.
Yeah.
Why did they want Naboth's vineyard? There are also these two other women. One who slept on her child at night.
Yes.
You for sure know this is not my child. But you want to exchange and you are so happy. Yes, wacha akatwe mara mbili. Yes.
So we better lose all of us.
Yes. So possibly if I may add on how to seek support.
As you add on that, I also want you to handle a narcissist as a husband.
Yes, number one, for women, because you're already married to this narcissist, reduce your expectation. There's no way he will appreciate you. There's no way he will see your effort. So when you tell your mind, he will never see it, even if I've done it. you have your own peace.
Wow.
There's also something else we call in psychology the GLEROC method of responding to issues, whereby you make your conversation minimal,
Very minimal.
and factual,
Yes.
to avoid the drama.
Yes. And sometimes you have to record facts.
Yes,
Because they
you,
keep
you put
changing.
you put the fact on the ground. I told you I want to look for a job because I went to school and I was educated by my parents because I need to work. Factual. Jamaa inaleta fujo, inapikisha magrasi, it's jari. Tomorrow I am insisting. I'm reminding you. Tomorrow I'll be going for an interview because I went to school to study and I have documents. Anareta side shows. Number 3, never have the element of wanting to win a conversation. Never argue with a narcissist because you want to bring your point. He will never find it. So never want to win. You see, the majority of the women, why they cannot stay with a narcissist is because you always want to win your conversation. No, bring your point, but you don't want to win conversation. Set
Let
You want
him
to make your point.
Let
Yes.
him win, but make your
Let
point.
him win, but make
your
your point. Number 2, set your boundaries, proper and clear. The greatest problem with us women is that we are emotional. We express our issues by emotions. Sasa unalia, unapasa sauti. Set the boundary very clear. I indicated to you I want to see my parents over the April holiday. And I must go to see them. So you even if he says you cannot,
He will tell you if you go, don't come back here.
set the boundaries. I will go and still come back here because this is my home. You didn't marry me to start a short journey with me. Hii journey to is safari tunaenda na
And by
wewe.
that, you are helping them deal with themselves.
You know, he will find, you see, because they are manipulative, if you buy to the manipulation, they win.
Okay.
So they will keep on pushing you to the wall, to the wall, to the wall. So set your boundaries as a woman and set these boundaries very clear. But most importantly, let the women reduce their expectations. At the same time, it is important, you know, it may become too much. If it is too much, know when to walk away.
Okay.
So just know when to walk away if it is too much. But most importantly, set boundaries,
Boundaries, expectations.
reduce your expectations, do not seek to win.
Go for therapy as well.
Make your point.
To go for, and also, there's also this element of, but if you are a narcissist, how can you get help? It is also important.
Yeah,
I am a
think
narcissist.
we are coming to that as we wrap up.
But now
how
for,
do we help this?
But now for a woman, for example, if you want to know whether you are a narcissist or not, please do simple psychometric test on an assessment on issues of personality and narcissism. They are there. You Google any psychometric test in regard to personality, you find them. And answer those simple questions. The age will tell you whether you are a narcissist. There is suggestions on the many things you can do to get help as a narcissist. But the person number 1, the immediate person who let you know whether you are a narcissist is your wife. If your wife is,
If you are married, that
if
is.
you are married, or people who are close to you,
yeah.
ask them, what behavior do I have that really irritates you? Please let them say them.
Or the feedback that they keep giving you.
Yes.
Wewe huambia yangu ikitu, wewe
Yes. How do you think? What is that one thing you would want me to change? If somebody tells you, I want you change about the way you perceive me because you take me as a child. Unionagi kama mtu. That tells you
that.
I could be having narcissism. If it is wife and tells you, you need to learn how to listen to people. Sometimes you are so inhuman, you know. That alone, for example, if you are a father and anytime you get home, nobody wants to sit in the sitting room, you find people are busy. Watoto wanajipea shughuli. All of a sudden, they want to help their mom in the kitchen. All of a sudden, kamepatwa na usingizi kanataka kwenda kulala. That should tell you, my presence in this home scares people. So when you get feedback, most importantly, get feedback from your loved ones.
Wow.
They will give you true feedback. And not necessarily the people you seek validation from, because narcissists are too good to other people. A narcissist will give a beggar 1,000, but will not give a wife
Will
200.
deny his children the same.
Will deny the children what he's giving other people out there. A narcissist will throw money to people in the pub, pewa, furahia. But a wife is struggling with something very basic.
Clear picture of our political scene.
Yes.
Oh, yes. So most of, okay, some politicians are also narcissists. We have not quoted
Environment could have
Yes.
magnified narcissism in them, because what makes them look narcissistic is the element of their arrogance. How do you start to the people who voted for you and tell them very arrogant things? Yes, najua nitaenda nyumbani 2027 lakini hakuna mahali mnaweza nipeleka. That arrogance he has been magnified by their status. Yes.
Wow. Gabriel.
Yes, sir.
Let me acknowledge Kipkoril Victor, tuned from Roiro, tall, very timely. Thank you, Kipkoril Victor. God bless you. Bill Clean, Bill from Thika, following and profound of my senior. Muriuki Monica, very educative. This is Bill Clean.
Okay.
Lucen Joki Kemani, time from Gong, and happy for this debate. Watching from maybe Gong and happy for this debate because many are suffering under narcissistic people and many are depressed and confused. Kip Collier also says, does this disorder have levels like low, mid, high, something like that? Something else that
What you're talking about?
Wilberforce, thank you. Believe the room temperature has now changed. Karen saying that you have suffered, Apostle. You shall see God. I really suffered in the hearts of that man. Gabriel.
Yes, sir.
Maybe you can conclude. You can conclude as we wrap up the show. Possibly you can tell us where we can find you.
Yes.
Maybe you can just say something small on how to help and how to. Maybe somebody has these disorders. How can we help, or how can someone seek help?
Okay, first of all, when it comes to this disorder, it is not easy that they admit. First of all, like the way we've had this conversation, they've had the signs. Like as we speak, someone knows it is me. It is me those people are talking about.
Yes.
So if you know it is you that we are talking about, I'll probably recommend that you find a mental health expert. They will not judge you. They will help you. They will confirm if you are truly narcissistic. Remember, there are other disorders that are very close to narcissism, like bipolar. I think there are like 4 that are very close to each other, and if it's not fully tested, you can miss out. Okay, so go to a professional, let them take you through, let them confirm, and then they'll guide you on how you can work out. Actually, I've met 2 men who have found that they are narcissistic, confirmed, and they are working themselves out, and even they are building better relationships with the family. So it's not a curse generally. It is something you can manage, and you can even build lasting relationships. Especially once you know what you are going through, you can address the reasons why you chose to be narcissistic as a coping mechanism. So if you can get back to the problem and get it fixed, then you can build a better life. So I'll only recommend professionals, because most of us, ukikana narcissist akikugeuka the other minute, hata wewe utakuwa against him. So I mostly recommend only professionals. How can you find you? Where you can find me, I'm very talkative on Facebook. You can always find me there, Gabriel Mungai. And my office is along Thika Road. If you contact me, you can find me. My number is 0719 489 372. 0719 489 372.
And you have 2 books. Maybe you can talk about it briefly.
Oh yes, thank you so much for reminding me. I have 2 books that I have written on personal development. One is called In Pursuit of Growth. It's a book that purposely for people who feel stuck, those who feel like they are going backwards, those who feel like time is passing and they don't see any difference in their life, or those who feel like they are mark timing in life. So that's a good book for you. And Self-Discovery for Self-Recovery. It's a wonderful book for people who feel like they've been climbing a mountain and never reaching the top, or they've climbed the wrong mountain in life. They are at the top, but they are not satisfied. Or they have a relationship and they keep on moving from one relationship to another, and they can't explain why they never settle on any. So that's the book for them.
If they call you, they'll get the details?
Yeah, you'll get the details. We also parcel worldwide.
Wow. Great. Madam Monica, where can we find you and possibly anybody who needs your assistance?
Yes, I'm available. I'm always at Lillard School Thika. Told you I'm a principal in that school. So I'm physically available there. I'm also quite, I can't say I'm quite evident in social media, but I try.
Yes.
So you'll find me on all social media handles as Monica Muriuki. In TikTok, I refer myself as Teacher Monica. I think I can also give my contact.
Yes,
I do a lot of mentorship for teens.
Yes.
And
I've
for
seen
the
you in
youth.
schools. I've seen you in schools.
I do a lot of school ministry. In fact, I'm in the process of writing a great book.
Yes.
Navigating Teenage as a Pro.
Wow.
So very very soon we should be launching that book.
Give us your number.
My number is 0724-892-103. And to affirm what my colleague here has said, it is important for people to get emotional support.
Yes.
Guard jealously your emotional well-being, because living with a narcissist can cause you to have mental challenges. Speak to someone you can trust.
Yes.
Look for a therapist. I'm also available for sessions.
Yes.
Yes. If you call that number, I'll give you an appropriate place where we can meet.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, thank you, Zillionaire Jemima, all the way from Nakuru. Thank you. God bless you. That was our time. See you next Wednesday right here. Continue writing to those who don't know about this show, and let us all build this community. God bless you and good night.